All right, here we go. This is the very first Harbingers of the Sith'ari podcast. I'm Zara, and for those of you who didn't know, yes, I am a dude. With me, we have Lynne. That's your cue to say
Hello.
hi. And we have Ragnarok, aka Rag,
Hello.
and Jacko, or Jacob Fett. Man, you have a lot of handles.
What up?
So, the first topic I'd like to get across is just our transfer from Kath Hound to Ebon Hawk, because we were originally a Kath Hound guild, and we just transferred recently. And I was wondering if anyone like had any stories, regarding the transfer. I mean, for me, for one, for the longest time, it just felt kind of weird. It kind of, even though it was like the same maps and everything, it felt like kind of living in a bizarro universe, because I guess it's a different community altogether.
Well, the thing I enjoyed the most, sorry, Lynn, the thing that I found the most intriguing of it all was going from Kath Hound, where we'd have 30 people on Imperial Fleet and have 10 of those people be us, going to a server that has 200 plus. So it actually had that much more, of an empire feel. I mean, you cannot tell me that there'd be only 10 people or 30 people on the entire Imperial fleet.
I agree. Yeah, it feels more like we are an army. We are what's making up the empire.
Yeah.
I was going to say something very similar, that coming from Kath Hound, where you would be the only person on an entire planet, to a server where there's consistently well over 250 people just on fleet, and you're on planets fighting to get your quests done because there are so many other people out there doing them, was a tremendous change. I think it's a positive change, but it was just really, really different, and it took a little adjustment.
Oh yeah.
There are a lot of people that are complaining about the lag, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's to be expected with the amount of people on the server. But to what like Lynn was saying, I found out like a lot, like when I'm doing my dailies, like you have to kill X amount of people, right? So it's like you try to do that, but you find they're already dead. So it's like, okay, well, I'll come back later when they respawn. So I do like something on the side, and I come back and they did respawn, but they were killed again. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. I had a moment like that a little while ago. I was doing one of the quests on Alderaan, and I accidentally grabbed something, and I didn't realize that the other person had completed the first step to that. So I immediately had to whisper them. I was like, "Oh, dude, I am really sorry about that. I wasn't no, I didn't pay attention. I didn't notice that that's what had happened."
Well, I think part of it is just the transition of having us be some of the only people on one guild. I'm sorry, on one server that had a low population. Now we got to compete with it, so it's just a matter of transition of learning, to gripping up with people.
Yeah, definitely. It's
We have to be much more observant here because of those things, because there are other people out there now, and they are doing the same things that we're doing, and so we do have to pay more attention because we're not the only person on the quest or on the planet. So definitely have to watch more and pay more attention to who's around you.
oh yeah, completely. I mean, like we were, you know, a big fish in a small pond on Cat Town, and now it's on Ebon Hawk. It's like all the rules are out the window. It's like you kind of have to like learn from scratch. It's like, who are these people? Okay, well, yeah. So anyway, moving on. Let's talk about patch 1.3. That was just implemented recently, within this past week. So what's everyone's thoughts on it? Do you like it? Don't like it? You know, what's good about it? What's bad about it?
Personally, the group finders little black hole commendations are quite awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with us being an up and coming guild, still trying to get everybody geared to run ops, the only option we had before was to do the Black Hole Weekly to get the 6 combinations per week. And that would take month to month and a half to get a single piece of gear, while using this system, it allows people to get gear much faster to where we can get to the point where we can do some of the more difficult operation groups.
I do agree that the group finder function giving that additional boost to your commendations is really, really going to be very helpful for us to get geared up, especially because, like Ragnarok said, we're smaller, so it's a little more difficult for us to get certain things done. Plus, I think just the group finder in general is going to help us get things done. So I like that aspect.
Plus, I mean, again, on the group finder, I just, when it first got implemented, I used it, for random hard mode. Not even 30 seconds later, I got into a Black Talon group, and voila, I got my daily done, in less than an hour. Then it would have been just trying to spam it in chat for an hour or two to get a full team,
Yeah, well, I'm kind of easy to please, but the thing it's so stupid. The thing I was like so impressed with was like that stupid mail droid that you get like through the legacy system. I mean, that's like an ingenious idea. It's like I don't know why they didn't like implement it to begin with, like from launch.
Oh, when we were doing the Lost Island, and was it Soren who brought the repair droid?
No, it was me. I brought it in.
Yeah, that thing was awesome. I was like, my armor's all broke, and Rag was just like, oh, here, button.
And also last night I discovered, yeah, I think I told you, Jacko, and Vickers, that there's like you get this complimentary armor, / credits at the PvP terminal on the fleet. I mean, that was like really cool, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. I had the same thing happen. And just 1.3 in general has been awesome, especially since now we can choose to augment any piece of armor just by buying the kit. It makes us much more versatile. Plus, if you want to, work on, once they implement more of the social gear and stuff like that, you can actually make yourself look like, a stormtrooper, or not a stormtrooper, but whatever social gear, and just add that skin onto your personal armor, so you still look the part, but you still have the really good the really good stats from that piece of armor.
That is pretty cool.
I do like the augmentation ability. I do believe that crafting previously, trying to get the augment slot, was just ridiculously difficult. It was extremely rare, and now crafters, particularly synth weavers who were basically useless before, have something that they can actually put out there that other people want and other people are going to use. So I think it really has helped crafting, particularly the synth weavers.
Yeah, I've been like neglecting like my skills in crafting. It's like I think eventually I'll like actually get into that. But wasn't there was like also a new planet introduced, wasn't there, with this patch? Has like anyone actually been there?
It wasn't
No,
with this patch. It's coming in the next year.
Okay. I probably just like skimmed through.
I'm going to Yeah, I'm gonna guess in 1.4 simply because I think that they'll want to get it out as quickly as possible, keep people playing.
Right, yeah, just like, it's like dangling a carrot in front of a horse, just like, to keep it going with like the horse being like, the players, to keep their subscription.
Yeah. I mean, like I've said hundreds of times, you guys are the reason my subscription's still active.
Yeah, I mean, I think just like being in this guild, if it wasn't for the Harbingers, I would just like kind of like plowed through like every story quest, and then that's it. I would just like, let the game collect dust, like move on to like something else.
I don't know. I'm an old hardcore Star Wars geek, so I'd probably still stick around. Oh heck, I did Star Wars Galaxies before, even after it got broken by Sony and beyond repair. I still stuck around for a while after that, but it got to the point where like, okay, it became Jedi Wars, not Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah. So, well, talking about the next patch, it was mentioned earlier. Does anyone have like a wish list, like what they would like to see on it?
I do.
What is it, Lynn?
Go ahead and laugh now. Sittable chairs. I really, really want sittable chairs. And clothing options, please.
Yeah, I'm with you on
What
that.
do you mean by clothing options?
I mean something that doesn't look like everything else that everybody else is wearing. I mean like actual clothing options.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think that they need more differentiation between the gear. Like, I mean, Column 9 looks the exact same as Ricotta. Tiny's looks the exact same as the other two. I mean, everything, a lot of gear just looks the same with different stats, and I think they need to change that a bit.
Yeah,
And I know every game has reused skins, but I mean, it's pretty abundant in this one.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like a few weeks ago, I think I was doing a flashpoint with Rovina and Tika, and like there's like a big gap between our levels, like at the time anyway. I mean, I don't know where Tika and Rovina are now, but I mean, I was like level 50 and maybe they were 20 somewhere in there. But we were doing like just like a social Black Talon run, and when we went to like the cutscenes, like the dialogue scenes, it's like we pretty much like all look similar. It's like we were like for the most part just like wearing the same thing.
See, it's things like that.
And one other thing I'd like to see, hopefully, I do like the fact that you can now, adapt your various pieces of armor to suit your chest piece. And that's a good concept, it really is. That way, at least the color scheme looks the same. But it'd be nice to do like a rainbow table, to where you can choose what kind of color that you want that particular piece of armor to look like, and then you can unify all the other pieces to match suit. That way, not everybody is still looking the same,
Yeah.
Maybe the same color of armor, maybe the same armor, but instead of it being dark red, this person will have, dark green, for example. That'll at least make it a little more, I don't know, personal.
Yeah. Are you listening, BioWare? One thing that I would like to see, just I would like to see sort of like a spy feature, like in like those like PvP, capture the flag style events, where it would be kind of like in Team Fortress 2, like where you could be a spy and just like kind of infiltrate like the other side, like where people actually think, oh, okay, this is a Republic player, don't mind him, and then you can like sabotage them.
That wouldn't be too bad. And along those lines, it'd be nice to see, more areas to where Imperials and Republic soldiers can actually RP, instead of having to be forced to be in, PvP mode. It would just be nice to. I think it just from the RP perspective, if we could actually see some Republic soldiers, even if it's on one spot here on each individual planet or a specific planet that's neutral, that you can have that interaction between the two factions. I think that would also be really awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, just real quick, I agree with Lynn. We need some sittable chairs.
Thank you.
I'm on my ship and I'm just glaring. I'm like looking at the ship going, I'm like looking at the chairs. I'm like, why do you taunt me?
Yeah, and like not only to be sittable, but like also like get rid of the glitch that's in the bounty hunter ship. That one chair in front of the desk. It's like whenever you like sit down, it's just like it looks like the tune's like having hiccups. It's like constantly jumping.
It's like that with every chair, at least for me. I think they need a better sitting position too. I don't know anyone who sits the way they sit in the game.
They need a lot of different things as far as the social RP aspect goes.
Well, especially, for the Sith, who are more or less forced to wear a skirt. I don't know any man or any woman that sits like that in a skirt in a chair,
Yeah, I don't know, like, my friend was making fun of Riza when I was playing as her. He's like, look at the way she sits. I was like, what do you mean? He's just like, oh, she looks like a slut.
What like also I'd like to see is like sort of like a lie down emote. I mean, because like, you can like sort of like sit down or kneel, but you can actually like flat lie down.
I'd like a play dead function. That'd be cool.
I would like play dead, a real sit, and chairs, new armor and social options, and I would like the ability to fight members of our own guild or the Republic without having to go to Outlaw's Den or other specific places.
Part of me feels like I agree with that, but the other part, it's more like I understand why they limited it. They didn't want people just running around killing each other,
Yeah, I mean, it was just last weekend where I discovered for the first time. It's like you can't duel like on the fleet or like any of the ships like the Zoe Shadow or like White Nova. I mean, that's kind of why I kind of came up with at the last minute with like that whole point system, like a la Final Fantasy.
I'm not familiar with that point system, but I can at least understand why they do not allow you to do dueling on fleet, especially on being on this server now. I mean, on Kath Hound, it would have been that big of a difference. But can you imagine the lag of having 200 plus people on fleet and have, let's say, 30 of them dueling at any given time? That would definitely increase the lag of that particular area.
Yeah, I mean, I like kind of like run on like minimum requirements as it is, so less lag is good. Well, I think that wraps it up. Unless anyone has anything else they'd like to add.
Pudding.
Pudding.
Ninjas.
We should talk about invisible cows that eat leaves. And giraffes. We should talk about why the giraffe has such a long neck.
Yeah,
okay, I think that's a good time. Yeah, I think it's a good time to cut it to an end now before Jago Didn't talk any more weird stuff.
Yeah, and we
I
are not.
think next.
We're not going to talk
I
about
think
that stupid
that-
Japanese video.
I think we should talk about
Pon-pon.
that. Pon pon way pon.
Pum pum.
Pon pon.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll just get silly from this point on. So we're going to sign off now, and if you just happen to stumble across this podcast and you are not a member of the Harbingers, you can always visit our website at www.harbingers.swtorhosting.com. If you come across this in the YouTube channel, I will leave a link in the description, and hopefully we'll be doing this a lot.
Whoop whoop.
Thanks, Zara. Whoop, whoop.
No problem.
You don't do it as good, Lynn.
Okay, so it's me, Zara, signing off. Lynn.
Ciao.
Rag.
Hey, take care.
And of course, the infamous Jacko.
Can't talk right now. Too busy dying for a worthless cause. Bye.
Bye.